So in just a few short minutes, imagine being able to sit around friends and family and humbly brag to them that you're learning Python, that you've built your very first Python project, the band name generator. Imagine the level of respect you will get. Now, let's nerd out a little bit. You're going to learn some of the key concepts in strings, concatenation, variables, and input. The tools that we're going to use to do this is PyCharm. If you haven't already checked out that video, I'll leave it in the link in the description below for you to check out once you finish watching this video. Now, Python is kind of like playing a guitar. It's front and center in most programming languages, although most coders may disagree with me on this, but I like to beg to differ. With some effort, it's easy to pick up. It could be powerful in the right hands. Let me introduce to you my band's name. All right, so let's open up PyCharm and let's start with strings, okay? So strings are pretty much characters that are buried inside of quotations, and they could be letters, numbers, and even symbols. Now, depending on the programmer, you have two different versions of strings, and let me show you on PyCharm. So you have the string that is in single quotations, and really, I just want to show you that it works the same way. It's just really a personal preference, and I want to show you. So as you can see, we haven't done anything yet, but when we hit print, it will print the hello world string, okay? Now, let me show you what it looks like when you use double quotations. The idea is to show you that you can really use one or the other. Again, it's just personal preference. Now, I will probably be sticking to the double quotations because my goal is to work with larger groups of people on working bigger projects, right? So if most people are doing it, that's what I want to stick to simplify the workflow. Now, here we go with the double quotations. And it's just to show you that it does the same thing as the single quotations. All right, so we're done with strings. Now we're moving on to the next topic, concatenation. Now, I know that kind of sounds like a potion you would find in a witchcraft book. But all jokes aside, concatenation is just the combination of strings with the usage of the plus symbol. Now, let's go back into PyCharm so I could show you this by demonstration. All right, we're back in PyCharm, and I wanted to show you, by example, what a concatenation looks like. Let's do something like happy birthday. Now, what do you think happens when you run this? Because now you have two strings and it's inside of a print function and it's concatenated by this plus symbol. Now, check it out. You see, it's now jumbled together. So I wanted to highlight that how you use this is important, and you have to do something very specific to make sure that you get what you're looking for when you use the concatenation function. So one way to do it, there's several ways, but one way to do it is making the space actually after the last letter and before the last quotation mark. And then in the second string, you have the open quotation, space, and then you put the word that the string, the other string, or the other word inside of the print function. Now, when you hit print or you hit run, now you get the actual phrase the way that it's supposed to look like with the separation between the two words or the two strings. So far, we spoke about strings and concatenation. Now we're going to talk about variables. It's your code's way of remembering stuff. A variable is like a labeled box that stores information for later. For example, let's go into PyCharm so I could show you this. Now we're going to demonstrate how we use strings, and we're going to assign them to a variable. So for example, let's take city, and let's say Miami as the string, and we're going to assign it to the variable city. And then we're going to take another variable that we're going to name pet. And let's take a string that we're going to assign to the variable pet, right? Now, because the topic is variables, I want to show you how it works. Let's now create more variables so that way we can generate, the strings to print out. So let's do band name. Then let's say city. Now we're going to add the concatenation function here. And make sure you don't forget to space out the quotations so that way they're not jumbled together like I explained the last time. Okay. Then let's say if you wanted to actually see it print, we're gonna show you one part of the band name generator program. Okay. You're gonna concatenate that, and then you're gonna bring back the band name variable. All right. And then what we're going to do is then you hit run. And now you see how it printed out down here. Your band name is Miami Chico. The best part is actually coming up. We're going to make it more interactive. But we went over just to, kind of summarize so far what we've done. Strings, concatenation, and we spoke about variables. But now we're going to make it more interactive. We're going to talk about the input function. You might be asking, what's the difference between the input function and the print function? Let me show you what the difference is between the print function and the input function, right? So with print, and I'm going to use the same example for two different functions so that way you can see the difference. What is your age? Okay. Now, when you hit the run on the print function, it will just print out the string that you have, right? And it doesn't let you do anything else. Look what happens. This is view. This view is for read only, so it doesn't let you actually interact with it. But let's see what happens when you use the input function with the same question. Okay. Now we run. Now you see the difference is that now you can actually enter a number and it interacts with you. Like you could actually interact with the computer. So let's continue on with the theme of the band name generator so we can finish the project, right? So let's go back to, you might want to be polite. So let's make sure that it is polite when someone wants to use it. Right? Then we're going to start bringing back our concepts of variables, the input function, because we want to interact with this. Let's write this. Then we do another variable here. Okay. Next, we want not only to interact with it, but you also want it to actually respond back to you, right? So we're gonna do the print function, and we're gonna include everything: the variable, the concatenation, strings, etc. Don't forget our concatenation lesson. All right. And then we hit the run function, and there we go. Welcome to the band name generator. It says enter the city that you grew up in, and that's what I'll do. You hit enter. Now it says to enter your pet's name. Okay, enter, and there we go. It just generated the band name that I created earlier. And boom, you just built the band name generator from scratch. Now, I want you to keep in mind that, most coders, they all start with the first print, hello world. But consistency is what makes you legendary. Now, you have to think about it. All the big companies like Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla, their owners started with coding. And now, if you look at what the net worth of all those companies combined, it's 6.91 trillion with a T, trillion dollars. Okay? That means that you have opportunities everywhere. And they're outliers, but the idea is that the opportunity of being able to do that exists. So I would say, follow me on my journey. We could do this together. Like, all you have to do is, stay consistent. So, like, subscribe, follow, share, comment below what your band name was. Perhaps we were neighbors at a certain point. See you on the next build.